Hello, everybody. In this video, I want to highlight a very close friend of mine. His name is Ayodeji, and he actually just bought his house for him to move him and his wife and his four kids into a house. And he bought it. He bought the house using creative finance, and I want to highlight him because of where he's come from and where he's at now, and he deserves a spot. So, hey, Ayodeji, thank you so much for carving out 10 to 15 minutes of your time to do this video with me. Briefly, before we get started, can you just tell us about where you came from, like your background, your experience level, and did you have any prior experience back then?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. So I'm from New York, born in Brooklyn, raised in the Bronx. I'm currently now in Jacksonville, North Carolina. I started in real estate back in 2012, bought my first duplex to house hack in. And it wasn't until 2017 I went full time in real estate investing. Um, the first ever deal I ever did wasn't even wholesaling. I did three creative deals, transitioned to wholesaling, then subject to, and then seller financing. So I just took it one strategy at a time.
I want to highlight this deal specifically because house behind you, that's the
Uh,
house that you just moved
I will
into.
show you. Let me show you. Here it is.
Wow, wow,
There it is. This is the neighborhood.
such a beautiful neighborhood.
Yeah,
Wow, what? So tell me more about that deal because that's a house that you bought subject to. So meaning you took over somebody else's mortgage payment.
correct.
But instead of you, and obviously you have duplex and you have other rentals along in your portfolio right now. But in this house specifically, you decide to move your family into it, right?
Correct.
Yeah. What can you give us a breakdown of where that deal came from?
Deal came pretty much from what you've been sharing since January when I came across your content January with JJ Azarian.
Yeah.
I put together the no equity list of on market deals. We were actually going to buy another one, and because we moved down here mid March, prior to moving down to North Carolina, I found a deal where the seller just bought the house. At that time, they bought the house, I think it was September, and then they had it listed like 4 or 5 months later.
Yeah.
They had it listed because they had PCS, permanent change of station, since they were in the military and they were going to be stationed in Japan. So to their agents' pleasant surprise, they were like, "Yeah, well, we like what this guy's offering." Sub too. It seems like that would answer, fill in everything that we're trying to do because we can't sell it. We know we're not going to sell it for the price that we're asking. It's too high, and we don't want to write a check, and we don't want to be an out of country landlord. So yeah, this what this guy's offering seems to make sense for us. But ultimately, we didn't end up buying that deal only because their orders change. So no need for them to sell it. But I did tell my wife, hey, he had a PCS to go to Japan.
Okay.
And the price that they were asking was high so that they can cover mortgage, cover realtor commissions, and some closing costs. So, and we asked, like, if they don't sell it, are they ready to be a landlord? And they didn't want to rent, especially from out the country. They had a 5.5 interest rate. So we already had a contract signed and everything, but that whole thing changed when their orders changed. So they no longer wanted to sell the house. So I still told my wife, let's still relocate down to North Carolina because in Philly, suburbs of Philadelphia, rents were getting expensive. It was just going up. So,
Yeah.
and my wife being a teacher, she was like, you know what? Because I've already given my first shut up check to my wife where I've done some deals. So she doesn't doubt me anymore. She's like, I know you can do it. So she's like, you know what? I'm a teacher. Let's do it. I can get a job anywhere. So, we packed up the kids, moved, and we rented something short term. We were renting a 3-2. Our rent was like 1775, and thank God, true to my word, I kept taking massive action, and we came across this house that we're able to buy. Where now it's a 3.75 interest rate. We still got 28 years left, no balloon, VA loan, and my payments are 1436. Kevin,
Wow.
less than what we were paying for rent.
You're paying 1775, and now your rent is I mean that was the rent that you're paying. 14, and the house that you bought is now 1446, which is like $300 less. Is it
Absolutely.
bigger, smaller, same size?
Oh, it's we were renting a 3-2. This is a 4, 2.5, 2,500 square feet.
Oh my gosh.
So it's bigger. You saw the house. It's much
It's
bigger than where
huge.
we were renting.
Humongous.
Yeah, yeah.
So awesome. That is so awesome. It reminds me because my very first sub two deal from this new equity list. So like for those of you guys who don't know, like I have a I've been talking about this no equity list for the whole year, and a lot of people got their primary residence, but a lot of people started building their portfolio off of it. And like the house that I'm living in right now is also sub two at 3.325. So
Nice.
it's awesome. Mine's conventional, yours is VA loan. Doesn't not that one's better than the other, but my very first sub two deal from the no equity list was a homeowner that bought the house using their VA loan, and 3 months later they get a family, they go into a family situation where they have to sell the house. And for you it was permanent change of station, and they moved out of the house in 4 months. For me it was 3 months, and it was the exact same situation. So you just duplicated what I did with my first deal in Yuma, Arizona, and you just took it to North Carolina.
Well, there's a slight difference. So for that first house we were going to get, that one had a 5.5 interest rate. That was their situation. But remember, their orders changed. So they no longer needed to sell the house. So
Oh,
we
right.
still moved down here and I kept going after people on the list. The house that we just now acquired, it was on that no equity list. It was listed. The realtor is a knucklehead. She didn't want to present my offer. So I just kept following it until it eventually was withdrawn. So then
Right.
once I noticed it was no longer active, I sent this prior homeowner along with 14 other homeowners. I wrote them a handwritten letter, and he was the only one who responded. He called me back, and I didn't even notice it till he called me on a Friday. I didn't notice it till that Monday, but I called him. I came and saw the house in the day after my birthday on in June, and he told me a situation. He was behind on his payments. The house was actually giving him anxiety and depression, Kevin, because he just had a baby. At the time, the baby was like 6 months old. His daughter, he's married. He was just about to get married, and he was feeling like a failure. It's like I can't keep up with the payments. I have a kid. I can't. It was just too much for him. Too
Yeah.
much. So ultimately, I was able to give him debt relief, and now he's
Right.
much better.
Right. Yeah. And imagine how many people you help along the way. And I say this all the time. Like, not only do you help the
Yeah.
sellers, you could have helped the realtor out if they were open to it, but that's their call.
Right.
But you help your
Right.
family out. You're the man of the household. And your job is to go take care of your family. And
Yep.
you help the escrow officers. You take care of the landscaping guy, because I don't know, I have a
Mm-hmm.
landscaper, I have pool guy, I have all these people that I pay just because of the house that I own. And just you
Correct.
to go straight write that letter, and you helping out the homeowner from that relief of, okay, I don't have to make this payment, I don't have to, now I have a daughter that I can just solely focus my attention into. Like that's like 20 people that you helped right off the bat. So that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, and this is so awesome that, such an inspiring story. Do you have any advice or pieces of encouragements before we head out?
Absolutely. I would say be consistent and persistent. With that first deal that we tried to acquire in March for sub two, if once that didn't work out, if I just said, this thing doesn't really work, it's too hard. Let me try wholesaling. You saw the house. We would have missed out if I didn't stay persistent and consistent. So I mean, I may not be a sub two student, but you don't even have to. I mean, it's great to be, but I would tell others, like, look, just do the work. It's not hard. Take that action and just do the work. Be consistent and be persistent.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's your story is so cool that, some people may not in a position to be able to afford that kind of, of that investment in themselves. But for you to do it, all these sandwich lease options and, sub to deal seller finance without being part of the community, like, hey, it still can be done. Like, you can watch my YouTube videos, you can watch Pace's YouTube video, you watch JJ's
Right.
podcast with me, and you got your now you have a secure place for your family. So that's so awesome. What's the next venture for you in the next 3 to 6 months?
Well, thanks to the content you did, prior to me even buying this house, I bought another sub two house that we added to our portfolio. And I did that while I was in Trinidad and Tobago visiting my wife's family. So that was all virtual. I already got a buyer in there, cash flowing. Well, the way I structured that one, I don't start making payments till December. So I'm cash flowing $1,800 until December. And then by December, the cash flow would be it's 593 and change. Let's just call it 600. So now the next part is I want to keep acquiring more to hit that number of 10 to 15K and also try to do some Gator lending as we keep building up some money.
I love it. Yeah, I think that's the next progression is, obviously you have deals flowing, you start borrowing some money, and obviously you don't want that money just sitting there. So you want to go out and lend it out, get some money back, and just double your
Correct.
money in 3 to 6 months or so.
Correct.
So awesome. All right. Hey, what's the best way? What's the best way for people to reach out to you? Do you prefer Instagram DMs?
Instagram. Yeah, Instagram definitely. It's at No Limitness, and I know Kevin will post that up. NOLIMITNESS. And I chose that years ago because I believe in life there is no limitness to what we can do. I'm a testament to that. Kevin is a testament to that. So please feel free, reach out to me on Instagram.
Love it. I'll put the link I'll put your Instagram in the description below, and everybody go follow him. Do you have any YouTube? You're putting out any
I
content?
don't. Some people have been telling me you should start a YouTube, and I'm really now considering it.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Hey, Ayodeji, I appreciate you for taking this time out of your day. I know the scheduling was a little bit hard to schedule with the mastermind, but I appreciate you so much. And man, keep inspiring, truly.
You, Kevin, you too, man. I'm inspired by you. It's because of you posting what you're doing. I'm a student of the game. I'm just following it. You inspire me, and all I can do now is just pass that on to others. There's been people who reach out. I'm like, check out this guy. And I tell them to start with the JJ video and then go from there. I'm like, that's all you need to do. Do that, follow. Like Kevin gives it away. Just follow that. You'll be fine. So thank you, Kevin. Seriously. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. Well, I appreciate you. Have a great day, and we'll catch up later.
Sounds good.
Bye.